all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, Thy Wife Shall Be a Harlot in the City. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. I may just put in, I will show thee unto thee the judgment of the great whore. If I can fit all of that in, I'll put this in too, that sitteth upon many waters. So I wanted to go into a subject dealing with adultery. There was a video put up, and some of the elders had put up videos on these Jake women being caught out there by their men. You got Jake men out there that get with a woman and they bring them into the house or whatever, and they treat them like princesses, and they go and they go out there. So what shows you that they're harlots, and they're out of control, mentally out of control, spiritually out of control. And you can't take a woman out there and make her this Israelite woman unless she's part of the elect. But you got a lot of these guys that get with women and they'll bring them to the school and elevate them and so forth and so on. And I brought one woman did I bring her to the pastor? I brought her to the school one time. That's when I was young. But other than that, I never brought a woman to anything dealing with the school, because the main school at One West was for men. You had young women that would come in. They would wear back then they called it Daisy Dukes. And, James Brown called it hot pants. Now, when hot pants came out a couple years before that, you had laws in New York and around the country where if you was wearing a short dress and you saw the thighs and the legs and all that, a cop would give you a ticket or even arrest you. I remember that. And they had passed laws through the various courts, maybe ultimately through the Supreme Court, that women can dress pretty much the way they want. So, like I remember as a kid, you would see a police officer pull a woman over and pull her to the side and either arrest her ass or give her a ticket to go to court because her dress was too short. And that was during the time of the Vietnam conflict. See, everything switched over during the time of the Vietnam conflict. If you wouldn't see, these women got tattoos. The only time you seen somebody with a tattoo was a man with one tattoo that he was a sailor, and he had the anchor, on his arm. That's the only time you see. You didn't see women didn't put tattoos on her. That's a sign of a harlot. So that goes hand in hand with Obadiah 1, where it says when you go up into the heaven, set your nest in the stars as the eagle, thence will I bring you down. So the downfall, the peak of America was like World War II, even the Vietnam conflict, and then you had not the Vietnam, but the Korean conflict. Then you had the Vietnam conflict, and that's when America reached its the pinnacle, the top of the mountain, so to speak. And then Vietnam War. After the Vietnam War, it all went downhill. You didn't see people strung out on drugs prior to the Vietnam War. Like if you were smoking, they call it various different names. spliffs, joints, whatever the hell you want to call it, marijuana, whatever you want to call it, woolies, whatever the hell you want to call it. Back then, before World War II, you were looked at as a hardcore dope fiend for smoking a spliff. So now they passed a law where your doctors can give it to you. You can get a prescription, and you got stores that sell it. So this place been going downhill since 1969, 1970. I forget which Apollo flight, but you had a series of the Apollo flights go up into space and into the moon. I forget which one. It was 1969, 1970. And you were in the midst of the Vietnam conflict. And the boys that went over there with the, Jake went in there with the conch. And Esau had the high and tights. The American boy. And they came back as dope fiends, man. Flower children, hippies. So that's when this place, the downfall, like if you have a chart, you got, give me a second. You got it going up, and then 69, 70, it's been going down. A race to the bottom. This place is fucking done. You cannot fix this. Donald Trump is not going to make America again. If Donald Trump becomes the president, unless the Most High allows this thing to go any further, which even Elder Yashawamba was saying, I can't see this place going any further than this. The scriptures speak about us, this generation, and that's talking about us. That's talking about, the people that you see, whether they be in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, their 60s, and so forth. This is that generation. Ain't no new generation going to come. If you have children, let's say you're 30 and you're 20s and you have a son, your son is not going to grow up to be a grown man and have sons because the destruction is going to come in this time period, man. So depending on who will be the new president, we believe it's Donald Trump. We don't know what's going to happen, but we know one thing, that if it is Trump or if it's Biden or it's Kamala Harris, that individual is going to most likely usher in the destruction. Oh, I was watching the CNN and they had a meeting with the NATO, and you had the president, Joe Biden. He was over there in Europe at the NATO meeting. He talking about, this goes back 50 years, whatever the case may be, more than 50 years. 58, 49, so 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. So we're talking over almost 75 years. So when I saw that with my prophetical mindset, you had the NATO members behind him, which go hand in. NATO members are also EU members, EU members are also NATO nation members. And so he was talking, and I said, they don't even realize that's the he's igniting the beast. That's the straight up beast, and he represents the whore that sitteth upon the scarlet colored beast. And they're scarlet color because they're red. Edomites are red, so we can see. Look, when this truth. The Lord said, I thank thee, O Lord, that thou hast hid this from the wise and prudent. I'm merely paraphrasing, and have given this to babes. Babes meaning insignificant guys. You know, we're regular guys. We're regular Joes, so to speak. Hey, the same thing with the original apostles, the disciples. These guys were not trained in the law. They were unlearned, as pursuant to Acts chapter 4. The only one that was learned was the Apostle Paul. And the Apostle Paul was an expert in the law. He was trained by a tutor to be an expert in the law. His father was a Pharisee. He was still a Pharisee. He pulled his Pharisee card. So anyway, let's get right into it. I'm going to go right into the list here. So I wanted to focus on our women being harlots, but I got the Spirit changed me, dealing more with the harlot, which is Babylon the Great. So the Most High changed me. The Most High just, made me stare into another direction. So anyway, we're going to start with women in general. Now, these women that you have are mentally they're children. These women that you have that are fully developed, they might be in their 20s, they might be in their 30s. They're all kids. They're all 10-year-old, 8-year-olds. So really, you are mentally getting, on a mental level, you are a pedophile. And I would say this, that if the laws were actually applied, you wouldn't have no Jake women out there. You wouldn't have no Jake women out there, man. You have a handful of Jake women that are still alive. The rest of them be dead. Dead and gone to the spirit world. So now, let me give you this precept. I'm gonna give you a handful of precepts here. Like I said, the Spirit made me change directions. I wanted to focus on our woman being adulterous. I was going to go all into the subject of adultery, the importance of not committing adultery, because it leads to death. And Jake ain't ready. Jake ain't ready, man. The only ones that's going to be ready are the elect of Israel, starting with the men. Amos 7 verse 17, therefore, thus saith Yahweh. And any Israelite group does not acknowledge that the Most High's name is Yahweh and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. They suspect. They took the bag. I can't prove it, but remember with Comfy completely took the name Yahweh Shai out of there. Then he convinced High Priest Ariah. I got the video. Ariah said, at first I couldn't see it. Then the Comforter showed me that the name of the Messiah is Yahweh. And I said, now I can see it. I said, which means that High Priest Ariah took that bag too. High Priest Shaw took that bag. Because ain't no way in the hell if I was back there, I would suffer that shit. I would either curse them out or I would have got up and left. Thy wives, your women, shall be an harlot in the city. What city is it talking about? The ones of you that are in the know is talking about Babylon the Great, America. The focus, as I have said in previous videos, the focus is not Nigeria and different places around the world. The focus is America. Because the destruction is going to come in America. The earth is not going to be blown in the smithereens. So one IUIC member said, the whole earth is going to be blown in the smithereens. Where's that in the scriptures? It said the earth abideth forever. It says, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword. Right here in America. Babylon the Great. And thy land shall be divided by line. Because who's over there in your land? Them heathens. And thou shalt die in a polluted land. Now, if you go back to the previous captivities that you went through, we ate good. There were no GMOs back then. You know, non organic. You know, one thing in Egypt, you ate good. That's in Numbers 11. And so we remember when we ate the leeks, the onions, the fish, the garlic. One thing they would eat it freely. In other words, the Egyptians work your ass, but they let you eat. You know, all you can eat, all you got to do is bust your ass. So this polluted land is Babylon the Great. Also mentioned in Ezekiel chapter 4, goes in Ezekiel chapter 4, Ezekiel chapter 5, Ezekiel chapter 4, our bread shall be defiled among the Gentiles. So the stuff that we're eating is garbage. It says, and thy land shall be divided. And by the way, this place, Babylon the Great, America, North, Central, South America, that's our land because we came over here before Esau. So this is the fourth part of Canaan, the fourth part of the earth, pursuant to Revelation chapter 6. It says, and thy land shall be divided by line. You got New York, you got New Jersey, you got Connecticut, you got Texas, you got North Dakota, you got South Dakota, you got California. So those are the lines right there. And even in the land of our homeland over there in Palestine. And thou shalt die in a what? In a polluted land. Babylon the Great. And Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land. So when we went into captivity, what land did we go into the great chattel slavery, cargo slavery? Here in America, which is the fourth part of our land. Because this is the land of Canaan. Going back to Solomon, having the Canaanites, which were seagoers, the great seagoers were Canaanites. Most I put a spirit on them to be seagoers, and they were going back and forth to the Americas, man. So this was our land. So the Northern Kingdom tribes, they knew about this land. It wasn't no secret. It wasn't no secret place for Solomon, but they knew about this land long after Solomon. And they said, you know what, we know we're going to go to a place where we're going to keep the laws. We're not going to be under the heathen no more. So they knew how to, in other words, you had Edomites during the time of Christopher Columbus saying that. They didn't even know that there was the uttermost west. We knew it. The people that they encountered was these scholars of their time, these ministers, these preachers, these people that are in the Bible. The common knowledge was these people are the Israelites. We're encountering these Indians and so forth. We're encountering these are the 12 the tribes, and they knew that they were the Northern Kingdom. Like I said in the previous video, if Esau gets on television and they say, breaking news, we found out who the Israelites are. The people over there in the land of Israel are not the Israelites, they're Edomites. The Israelites are the people of North, Central, and South America of Indian and Negroid descent. And then the guy pulls up a damn a blessed 12 tribe sign. That's when Jacob believe it. Jake ain't gonna believe it if we say it. Them Kemetic niggas, they'll believe it because the white man said it. Why do you believe it? Because the white man said it. Nixon said if you say something on TV, they're gonna believe it. So, go into these precepts. So we're going to get into this, Leviticus 19 verse 29. Let's see what that says. do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore. So men that have daughters, do not prostitute them. You have to pick a man that is going to deal with your daughter. The Apocrypha said, choose a man of understanding. There are not so many words. So now the law of grape, if a man, Hebrew Israelite man, grape a daughter of Israel that's not engaged, that man is not put to death. That man, the penalty is pay the father 50 shekels of silver, and this woman becomes your wife, and you cannot put her away. Lest the land fall to what? Whoredom. And this place is the great land of whoredom, man. These women are out of pocket, man. If you think you're going to get a woman, you're going to turn her into an Israelite woman, she can put that garment on and say, Shalom, brother. Yahweh Shemata. But when they're going to come a time where shit ain't working with you, and she going to go right back to being a nigga woman. Even Job said that. He said, "Who you act like you were like the foolish woman," because Job's wife was playing that the perfect Hebrew Israelite wife. Yes, my Lord. Yes, my Lord. Until he lost all his riches, and then she turned into the nigga woman. Same thing with Deontay Wilder's woman. When he lost that fourth or fifth fight and got knocked out, she said, "Man, the money train didn't stop." She said, "Let me get it from around this nigga. Let me get with a winner and get rid of this chicken dinner." And the land become full of wickedness. So Babylon the Great is a wicked land, because guess what? You can if your woman step out on you and you put her ass to death, guess what? You going to jail for a long time. And you're gonna be demonized. That's why you got the right for a woman to delete their children. That's given to the woman, not a man. If you lay with a woman and you find out she's pregnant, but you didn't want no child with her, you can't go to the courts and say, "Look, I wanted to have an abortion because I don't want the child," or she can have the child, but I don't got to pay child support. Nigga, she gonna have that child, and you gonna pay child support whether you like it or not. So it's set up that way. And that's why ultimately this place will have to be taken out by fire. And that's in the law. Give you the next precept. Leviticus 21 and 19. And this law is not being applied, brother, because you would see a lot of burnt women out there. Burnt. And the daughter of any priest, which ultimately we are priests in training, because in the kingdom, all the tribes, the men of Israel will be priests. And we will know the law perfectly, and we will keep the law perfectly, because we will be programmed pursuant to Jeremiah 31 and 31, and also reiterated by the Apostle Paul in Hebrews 8 verse 6 on down. Most High gonna put the laws in our inward part, meaning he gonna program us. Why do we go off? Because the Most High programmed us to go off. Why are we going to keep? Is there any Israelite that's going to break the law? Nope. We're going to keep it perfectly. If she profane herself, meaning outside the temple, something that is unholy, by playing the whore, she profaneth her father, she shall be burnt with fire. So if the fa- if the father gives the daughter away to the man, and the woman, the wife, commits adultery against the man, her husband, then she's killed by stoning. Remember the story of Judah, Yehoiada, and Tamar. She played the harlot, and he said, when I find this girl, I'm going to burn her with fire, because that was an unwritten law became written law. This is written law. The daughter of a priest, which in the kingdom, if any of our daughters played the harlot, the penalty is burn her with, not stone her, not choke her out, not put her in a triangle choke, but burn her with fire. And you have to have witnesses watch her burn, so it can be put on record. This bitch was burned on such and such a date. Okay, get somebody to clean up this mess here. So, this thing would stop if the law was applied. If these laws were applied today, you wouldn't have no Jake woman. You'd have to get, and a lot of these Edomite women in these other nations, well, they ain't fully under the law, but you're gonna have to bring back the nation with other nations, with the other nations' women. And I'm gonna say this to all of you brothers. All you brothers got women. Oh, that's my woman. This is my woman, right? Guess what? I hope you understand the concept of sharing, cause she been with some motherfuckers, man. She done did some freaky shit, and then you might be with her, and she'll do more freaky shit. She'll miss the freaky shit that she did. There's one woman I dealt with. She asked me, "Can I have permission to deal with other men?" I said, "Oh, hell fucking no." I said, "Are you out of your fucking mind, bitch?" I said, "Get the fuck out of here." And the black woman is a complete fucking bonehead, out of order. Especially these the women in the hood are demons, but them college women, oh, they're demons personified, man. They're demons to the 10th power. They got all that madness that they were taught by their professors, man. And then they ain't gonna believe that they're Israel, because they're taught in the school system, that everything is logical. It's not logical believe in the Most High. This system basically pushes against learning of the Most High. So if you can be like the Apostle Paul, don't have no woman. And if you have a woman, just know she's stepping out, because she knows she's not going to get put to death. She's not going to suffer the penalty of adultery. And even Yahweh Shai said that, because we were under the Roman authority. So he said you cannot cut off your woman except to be for fornication. The word fornication is adultery. So if she committed adultery, then you can cut her off. Mosaic law, put her ass to death. If that's your daughter, burn her. If that's your wife, stone her. And bullets are stones. Firing squad, when they shoot bullets are stones. Deuteronomy 23 verse 17, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Yasha'Allah, nor a sodomite of the sons of Yasha'Allah. And that's a disgusting sight when you see an alphabet person. That's a foul demon on them. But you have this place, Babylon the Great. This is how we know that this is Babylon the Great. It's not the Vatican Church. It's not a mind state. It's the actual place. 18, thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog. And this is the only choice that you have. The only choice that you have out there is a whore, man, because she's been around. Believe me, she's been around, bro. You go to bed with her and she'll show you shit that I didn't know I didn't know this could be done. They show you things. You learn from them women, man. They're experts at that. Into the house of Yahweh, the Most High, for any vow, for even both these are an abomination unto the Lord thy power. Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog into the house of the Lord. Meaning, you can. And was it Samuel's sons that had the harlots and they had harlots still popping women in the temple? It was either Samuel but somebody help me out. I'm not gonna look for it. And there was another one that he got his neck broke. I forget his name. He was a priest because he didn't correct his sons. And when he died, he said, "Yeah, I fucked up. That's why the Most High took me out this way." And ultimately, this is why Babylon has to be taken out by fire, because this is a whore, and they have the law. Esau got the law. That's why they got seminary schools and so forth. That's why presidents swear in on the scriptures. That's why Ronald Reagan, he declared 1983 the year of the Bible, that the Bible is the supreme law of the land. So they acknowledge that the scriptures are the supreme law, that we're supposed to be going by the laws of the Bible, but then they put the Bible, hold the Bible up, put it in the back, and bring out their laws. And if you ever went, I used to go to a law library because I used to go to court all the time. We were pretty much like jailhouse lawyers, which, by the way, jailhouse lawyers are smarter than actual lawyers, man. Them motherfuckers know that law. If you ever get locked up, you get in good with the jailhouse lawyer. Because in prison you have access to all the laws, the Supreme Court laws, all the laws, the state laws. Okay, Proverbs 23, verse 27. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. She also lieth in wait as for a prey, and increaseth the transgressors among men, who have woe, and have sorrow, and have contention, fights. The Apostle Paul said, I warn you, shall have trouble in the flesh. Who have babbling, who have wounds without cause. Zerubbabel said, he said, the greatest is a woman, the truth. But he said a woman. He said many men have gone out of their wits over a woman. Who have redness of eyes, because you're losing sleep. They that tarry long at the wine. A lot of brothers get on drugs because of a woman. Oh my heart, oh my heart. Richard Pryor said, you got a woman, you leave a woman leave you you get hit by a bus and you don't even feel it. You know, talking about, oh, I remember her, she had a nose like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. What he said, I forget what album it was. You know, and then she said, if you notice, when she with another man, she looked better with another man, seemed like. They that go to seek mixed wine, look not upon the wine when it is red, when it giveth a color in the cup, when it moveth itself aright. And see, you got a lot of guys that drink. You shouldn't be drinking, period, or very certain occasions you can drink something. But you can't drink to the point that that's issues that you got to deal with, man, from a childhood. If you drink to get drunk, that means you got issues, man. You got childhood issues. If you're fat, if you got to be balanced. Everything is about balance. When you come to this truth, you got to be balanced, man. You got brothers that eat a lot because they got childhood issues. You got to deal with them childhood issues, bruh. And we all got issues. We all stressed out. You know, most Jake, they get their muscles. When they were a kid, they were fat, and they used to get teased at. Because there ain't going to be no stress in the kingdom, brother. The stress is going to be on them other nations. Number one is Esau. Ezekiel 16, verse 28. I was watching this clown, the Forerunner, that bald-headed Jake, doing a sermon. I think it was called Babylon the Great and the Mark of the Beast. He ain't mentioned nothing about the Mark of the Beast. Then he was saying that Babylon the Great is a church system. All the different churches of Babylon the Great. He said, you got to come up out of her. So I put a comment. I said, it's Babylon, America. I have yet to hear him come back. For the ones of y'all that know that clown, Forerunner, you know, he caters to crackers. Okay, where am I at? Ezekiel 16, verse 28. Thou hast played the harlot. Also, now there's harlot where a woman plays a harlot, but we as Israelites have played the harlot. That's why in Jeremiah chapter 3, starting from the first verse, the Most High speaks about that. This the land being polluted. He was talking to Israelites as a nation, and ultimately he said, you played the harlot, but I'm going to take you back. I'm going to forgive you. That's why Yahweh Shai had to come to die for our sins, the fact that we played the harlot. When you play the harlot, that means you in the other philosophies. Comedic guys, they're playing a harlot. Christian Jakes, they're playing a harlot. Jakes in the Islam, they're playing a harlot. So if they don't come up out of there, they're going to die right here in Babylon the Great. And then they're going to come back. Ain't nobody going to burn in hell. Don't be listening to this. The bishop, don't be listening to him. You know, that's an old wise tale, man. That's a fable. That's a fable, man. That's a fear tactic. So when people leave the IUIC, they think, I'm going to burn in hell. Yeah, because you're an idiot, man. Scripture say, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh strength his arm. It says, thou hast played the whore as a nation, also with the Assyrians, because thou was unsatiable. You wasn't satisfied with the Most High. Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxing fat. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to that. Unsatiable. See, our women, when Jake women, their fantasy is they're not happy with just one man. they want to get hit by 3 or 4 men or 5 men at the same time. Y'all watch them pornos, man. You have 5 and 6 men popping this chick and she's smiling. She's smiling. You know? So you got our women being freaks. What's this chick that said did this cut? I'ma be a freak. And I wonder how this bitch is living now. You know? And Jake is waking up. That's why you got all these men going their own way. Talking about Jake. Just move on. Just get you an Edomite. A lot of Jakes. Jakes that are in the money, the Wall Street thing, they get with the Edomite woman, man. Athletes, boxers, brothers in the NBA, the NFL, these top actors, a lot of them get with Edomites, man. And a lot of them do very well with Edomites. They have their little kids, which are all Israelites. And like when Richard Pryor, when he was incapacitated, when somebody had to wipe the shit off his ass, it was the one wife that came back and helped him was the Edomite wife. She was the one that said, none of them Jake women, his former wives, they said, I ain't helping that nigga. But the Edomite woman, look up the history. She cared for this man in his dying days when he was he's in a wheelchair, he's all fucked up. The only wife that came back to support him and help him was the Edomite woman. Think about that. Black women don't give a fuck about you. She's a special kind of demon. It says, yeah, thou hast played the harlot with them, and yet couldst not be satisfied. In other words, you wasn't satisfied with the Most High's laws. You wanted to find a new religion, and you wasn't satisfied with that. But this is twofold. It's talking about Israel as a whole, a men and a woman, but it's talking about your wives. She ain't happy with you. You might be packing, so to speak, but that ain't good enough. She want a nigga with a bigger wang. She want 5 niggas. Just know, when you get a woman, you get a hoe. On this side, you ain't gonna get no righteous woman until you get in the kingdom. That's why they're not gonna make it on this side. They're gonna die on this side. They're gonna burn on this side. Thus saith the Lord: the daughter of a priest that playeth the harlot shall be burnt with fire. So this place, Babylon the Great, is a whore. So it's gonna be burnt with fire. Thou hast moreover multiplied thy fornications, which is adultery, and spiritually adultery is to follow another religion in the land of Canaan. And that's why the Most High set up the prophets to prophesy that we're the Israelites, so when they get destroyed, they can't say, well, we didn't know, we thought we was Hamites. Well, nigga, and especially the black conscious community, they all know about the Israelites. Shaka Mose said, who killed the Kemetic community, or whatever Kemetic community? And my answer is resounding: the Israelites did. You're gonna always lose when you come against us. What happened to Polite with his big mouth? That nigga locked up. He ain't gonna see the light of day. And these 7 years represent completion. So he will be buried in that prison when the missiles hit America. Because the guards ain't gonna go and open up the cells for let them prisoners out, because they're all gonna die. If they let them out, where they gonna go? How far are they gonna get? How far are they gonna run? Yahweh by Shem Yahushua is getting ready to judge this place. Right. He called Israel, the Israelite men and the women, whorish women. Whorish woman. And that thou buildest thy eminent place in the head of every way. That's in churches. Them churches, the mosque. All them churches are going to be destroyed. And that's why when you speak to these jakes in Christianity, you just say a few words to them. If you see they can't get it, then just leave them alone. Just forget them. As our elder Abba would say. And maketh thine high place in every street, and have not been as an harlot, and that thou scornest a hire, but as a wife that committeth adultery. So we as a nation have committed adultery with these other religions, ways of life, which taketh strangers instead of her husband. Because who's our husband? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Which Yahweh Shai is the bridegroom. Okay, I don't got to read no more, but you can read the rest of this. Revelation 6, verses 7 and 8. So now this goes, I should have read this right after Amos 7 and 17. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Revelation 6, verse 7 and 8. Then I'm going to jump back to Amos 7 and 17. The fourth part. Even Esau, they wrote it, they put a map together, they called this the fourth part of the earth, the fourth part of the world. There was a book written on the fourth part of the earth, of the world. The ancient world, you had three parts. So this was the fourth part. Revelation 6, verse 7 and 8. Then I'm going to go to Amos 7 and 17 again. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. We're living in the... Now this right here, the fourth beast, represent Second Ezra's 14, Second Ezra's 15, and Second Ezra's 16. And hell, which is death, that's why it says death and hell. Hell is the grave, is death. Followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth. What's the fourth part of the earth? To kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. So the fourth part of the earth, or the fourth part of the world, is America. Matter of fact, let me do that. Let me do this. I'm going to go to the fourth part of the earth, and then I'm going to go to the fourth part of the world, which we knew that this was talking about the Americas. Now, giving credit to the leadership of Sakari, they found the information on the map in the book. So I'm going to put in earth, and then I'm going to put in the world. Bear with me for a minute. Now this computer's acting up a little bit. Just got to wait for it. Come on now. Just bear with me. The fourth part of the earth. The fourth part of the earth. The fourth part of the world. The fourth part of the world may refer to the New World, also called the fourth part of the world. Columbus came over here. This is considered the fourth. There was 3 parts to the world. Let me see if I can get that. The fourth part of the world erased to the ends, I guess, Earth. In 1507, Martin Waldensmuller created a map. So this was a couple of years after they found out that the Earth wasn't flat. He created a map that depicted what was then known as the fourth part of the world, the other 3 parts being Asia, Europe, and Africa. So they cut the world up into 4 parts. There's a book on the subject. That's the book. Let me open it up. In case y'all didn't know. The fourth part of the world. Then you got this guy that's still living, Toby Lester. Toby Lester is an American journalist, scholar, and author. He received attention after writing 2 non-fiction works, on the role of maps in the discovery of America, on Leonardo da Vinci's drawing of the Vitruvian man. So let me do this. Let me go to let me come back. So Amos 7 verse 17 is talking about America. Your wife shall become a harlot in America. Our women were never out of this out of order. We always had the laws in all captivities, including the Roman Empire. Trying to get the map up. Okay, so here's the map. Now this guy Toby might be the guy that wrote the book in the beginning. Okay, you can hardly see this. The fourth part of the world. I gotta get a better map. Yeah, this guy definitely got to be the guy that wrote the original map. You see what this says? Because everything is reincarnated. Anyway, that's all. That's it on that. It says over the fourth part of the earth, so we know that this is the Americas. Mainly, focus is here on America. The Lord said, 4 places you shall prophesy. Your focus is on Yahweh, Jerusalem, Samaria, and the uttermost part of the earth, which is over here in the Americas. The focus is not in Jerusalem no more, and Samaria. You be a damn fool going back to Israel trying to teach people. It's over. The focus is here in America. It said over the fourth part of earth, or the fourth part of the world, to kill with the sword. That happened over here in this country, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. Isaiah 24, you can read that whole chapter, which I'm not going to do. And this is really back to the basics. For the ones of you, brother, have been in this thing for years, this is back to the basics. It says, and see, this is why guys fall off, because it says in Hebrews, Hebrews 4, around about the 2nd, 3rd verse, it says they basically, in not too many words, they fall off because they lack faith, not mixed with faith. And what builds your faith? By going through these scriptures. See, when you do these videos, you can see things clearer. And it reminds you, if that's an actual word, you get reminded, but you get re-reminded. You know, you read a breakdown, you read it 10 years later, and you get deeper into the breakdown. You understand it even more. You see it even clearly. Because these prophecies are taking place. Like if you're a Hebrew Israelite, or one West or whatever, and you can't see that the MOTB is a micro C-hip, the Most High don't want you to see it, or you can see it crystal clearly, but you took a bag. Either or. Either the Most High blinded you to that, or you took a bag. So which one is it? Which one is it? Because if these leaders cannot see it, one or two things. They took a bag. I'm not saying that you took a bag. But if you don't see it, it's because the Most High blinded you not to see it. Because he only gave it to the what? Thank the Heavenly Father that thou hast hidden this from prudent men and given this unto babes. We're the babes, insignificant guys, bums. James speaks about the poor receiving the truth. But thou art rich. Rich in what? That's Revelation 2, but thou art rich. 2 and 9, but thou art rich. Apostle Paul in Romans chapter 11, he spoke about the riches. The riches is talking about the riches of this knowledge. The city of confusion. Now, when you go to this word confusion right here, you're not going to come up with the word Babylon. But Babylon does equate, it's a different word. I'll go into it. It said the city of confusion. Now we know that that's Babylon. Is broken down, every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There is a cry for wine, which is the truth, answers in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Gone out of what land? This land. And the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. That's after the missiles hit. When thus it shall be in the midst of the land among the people, there shall be as the shaking of an olive tree, and as the gleaning grapes when the vintage is done. They shall lift up their voice. They shall sing. Who's going to sing? We're going to sing. For the majesty of Yahweh, that's in Revelation 15, Revelation 16, mainly 15. It says, and shall cry aloud from the sea. Wherefore glorify ye Yahweh in the fires. What fires? When this city's on fire, even the name of Yahweh, the Most High of Israel, Yasha'Allah, in the isles of the sea. For the utmost part of the earth, which is over here, have we heard songs. What songs did you hear? That were the Israelites and so forth. Even glory to the righteous, but I said, my leanest, woe unto me, the treacherous dealers. Esau and the other nations have dealt treacherously. Yeah, the treacherous dealers have dealt very treacherously. That's why you got these Edomites, or what appear to be Edomites. They come into the if they find out what camp, if we went back down to 34th Street, for example, do you know how many Edomites have come out to woodwork with their scriptures? Well, it came for the Gentiles too. It said, fear and the pit and the snare are upon thee, upon Babylon, O inhabitant of the earth. And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fair shall fall into the pit. There's no escape. And he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in a snare. You got these underground, what do you call it, bombs, what is it, what the hell is it, underground military bases. I can't put the acronym together. DUMBs, I believe it is. Deep underground military bases. Cities underground. For the windows from on high are open, and the foundation of the earth do shake. The whole earth is going to shake. The earth is not going to blow up in the smithereens. The earth is utterly broken down. The part of the earth which is Babylon, the earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunken. That's when the missiles hit. It's going to. A lot of these buildings in Europe and around the world, a lot of these structures are going to fall. So there's going to be a great rebuilding on the planet. And shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall, Babylon shall fall, and not rise again. Because these other nations, after this destruction, they're going to rise again. But they're going to rise again under our order, under our authority. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that Yahweh shall punish shall punish the host of the high ones, the elite. They're going to be shackled up because they're not going to be destroyed by this fire. They're going to be up in outer space. They're going to be in some neutral country. They're going to be hidden. And we're going to use the spiritual power. We're going to find them, and we're going to put them right into captivity. The first ones that's going to go into captivity among Edom are the super elite that are on high, and the kings or the leaders of the earth upon the earth. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners, that slavery, are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited, because we're going to give you work assignments. Then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed when Yahweh of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion. That doesn't mean the moon and the sun is going to be done away with. The moon and the sun going to have to take a back seat to the Most High, because the Most High created the moon and the sun and the stars. They ain't going to be looking at the sun. They're going to be looking at the Most High. And in Jerusalem and before his ancients gloriously. Okay. So let me see here. See, when you read these precepts, this makes you know that builds your faith. I don't need to be I know it's, and a lot of times we close the camp and there'll be chariots, right? And the brother, there's a chariot up there. I said, I don't gotta look at that. I don't need a faith builder. I'm already built up in the spirit. You know? Oh my goodness, oh Bracadaya, you know, that's a faith builder. I said, you don't got to show me no signs. I can see it, Crystal. I can see this man is the devil. I can see you coming from a mile away, Joker. Inside joke. Revelation 17, you can read this whole chapter. I'm gonna hit a bunch of verses any daggone way. Let me do this. Okay, Revelation. Okay, so I'm gonna go from Revelation 1 to jump to 16 and 18. But you can read this whole chapter. Revelation 17 and 1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And how is she going to be judged? By fire. Why is she going to be judged by fire? Because that's the penalty of a woman that plays a harlot. Because America received the scriptures. They know we're the Israelites. They know that who the Edomites are. They know when they pass laws for the alphabet people, they know that that's against the law. But then yet and still, they'll still even this guy Donald Trump, he praises them people, man. He praises them people. So fuck a Donald Trump, man. He's just another devil. And like I said, whether he comes in, whether Kamala Harris come in, whoever come in, man, we believe that that's going to be the person. Unless the Most High lets this. I don't see this place going no 20 more years. We are part of that generation. And he gonna take orders just like everybody else. That whole presidential mumbo jumbo, that's a reality. That's all it is. Look at it as a reality show. Who's gonna get off the island, you know? With the kings of the earth committed fornication. What is fornication? Fornication is Esau's system of a system of democracy. Democracy came out of America, right? All these nations, their leaders are voted in through a thing called democracy, and passing laws to protect moles. That's why. What was it, Ghana? It was either Ghana or. But them African nations, especially from the West, they're not into that. So there was one, help me out, y'all. I don't know if it's Ghana or one of the other African nations that the cabinet, they said, nah, we ain't with that. So now they're demonizing them. But this has nothing to do with the MOTB. The MOTB is not necessarily something that's not moral, but it's against the Most High, which is a sin. Yeah, so when Bishop Nate says sin in all of its forms, whether it be political or religious, well, sin is when you take that physical chip, that's a sin. That's a sin. The Lord says, put no markings in thy flesh. So let me jump on down. I'm going to jump down to 16 through 18. Start at 15. Start at 12. And the 10 homes which thou sawest are 10 kings which have not received no kingdom as of yet, but receiveth power as kings went out with the beast. These have one mind. That's the NATO and the EU. They just had a major meeting. President Joe Biden spoke at a meeting of the gathering of NATO, which NATO and EU are the same. Like Turkey is a NATO nation, Turkey is not an EU nation. Great Britain was a NATO, is still a NATO nation, used to be an EU nation, is now only a NATO nation. So it's part, it said the 7 heads and the 10 horns. The EU nations, now there's got to be like 32 of them. Ukraine is trying to become a member, and they're not allowing them to become a member. Because if they allow them to become a member, that's World War III. All these nations will have to get involved. So they know what they're doing. They're not allowing Ukraine to be a member. That's World War III. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast, the NATO system. These shall make war with the Lamb. That's 2nd Ezra chapter 13, and the Lamb shall overcome them. No place found in heaven. The waters on where who sitteth is people and tongues and nations and kings. That's a great melting pot. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, which is a NATO nation. Something's going to happen that either Trump is probably going to do something where all deals are off, and you're worrying about what the Russians are going to do with their missiles. Any EU or NATO nation that possesses missiles, currently right now, the UK possesses ICBMs and France possesses ICBM missiles from when I last checked. So I don't know if the rest of them are going to receive. We got to watch and see, but it says that they're going to shoot missiles on them. But the only ones, Germany don't have ICBM missiles. Unless they're building them right now. But like I said, France and Great Britain, they possess missiles. Intercontinental ballistic missiles. But the damage is going to come from the lasers of the ship and from the missiles of Russia and possibly China. It says China, Moab is my wash pot. Most are going to use Moab to clean shit out. Clean dissolved, as the scripture says, and shall make her desolate, a desert, and naked, and shall eat her flesh with flesh, and burn her with fire, the nuclear fire. For the Most High had put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. So we're in that time. We're in that time. There's only 3 major prophecies left. The micro sea hip, the mark of the beast, the great chipping, and that's going to happen. You camps out there, you're gonna be shook up. You're gonna be shook up. And I see a lot of these people that blindly follow you. They're gonna leave. They're gonna run to see if they can run into a member of the GMS. Gonna be a major shakeup, man. And you're gonna you most likely gonna try. Either what you could do is you can say, you know what, we were wrong. GMS was right. So you mean GMS was right? Yes, GMS was right. Yeah, I'm ready to take my checkbook out and give it to him. I'm ready to give my whole thing. Let's all get with GMS. But if you're not of the elect, you can't get with us. And give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. The great chipping, the destruction, and the deliverance, then the kingdom. And the woman, which is Babylon the Great, which thou sawest, is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. So you got Matthew 24, which speaks about the Gentiles. Should be trodden down by the Gentiles. That's also in Revelation 11, Romans 11, 25 and 26. Until the time of the Gentiles be come in. Until the time of the Gentiles be come in are the Israelite Gentiles. Matthew 24, when it speaks about the Gentiles, it says in Matthew 10 and 18, we shall be a witness against them and the Gentiles. Revelation 14 and 8. Let's look at that real quick. Like I said, this is almost like a review. You brothers that have been in this thing for many, many years, you already know this. You know these precepts. We always got new people coming in. Anytime you do a debate or a sit down, for us to go back into the basics. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, the great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of fornication. In other words, her system, political system, protecting, moles and so forth, and ultimately the chip. That's going to seal the deal. So now you can read Revelation 14, read that whole chapter. Revelation 16 and 19. Let's see what that says. So we got 3 precepts left, and then I'm going to close. See, Babylon the Great is one of the daughters of the Most High. What I mean by that is on the left-hand side. That's why the daddy of Babylon, because the Most High created Babylon and the Edomites, they played the harlot, so they got to be burned by fire. Revelation 16:19, and the great city was divided into 3 parts, right? The nations, sons of men, the sons of men, which are the nations, sons of Israel, which are the sons of the Most High, and sons of Edom, the wicked. And the cities of the nation fell in great Babylon, Babylon the Great, the U.S., came in remembrance before the Most High to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. The fierceness of his wrath, Jeremiah 49, they don't want to drink from the cup, but they're going to have to drink from that cup. And every island fled away in mountains and were found no more. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. A talent is about 75 to 100 pounds. And this is talking about the nuclear warheads. You got the delivery system, you got the warhead, and then you got the multiple warheads. So that's what John saw. He saw the delivery system, then he saw the warheads. And men blasphemed the Most High because the plague, Zechariah 14 and 12, this is the plague of the hell. The hell was the warheads. For the plague thereof was exceeding great. And that's why the rest of the nations in Europe and around the world are going to see the smoke from Babylon, and they're gonna mourn. Some of them are gonna be happy, some of them are gonna be sad because they're not making no more money, because the ultimate suckers are Americans, because they buy shit. That's what the whole credit card was about. The credit card was given to people because you didn't have enough money to pay for it, So they gave you a credit card where you can pay in increments. And mostly all of y'all F up your credit. I never messed up my credit, man. The first credit card I got, I did go crazy with that shit, but then I paid it off. I said, well, let me go ahead and pay this shit off. And now I only got one credit card, which I barely even use. I have it because in case I got to go to a hotel or in case I got to rent a car, you got to have an actual credit card. I got a debit card and a credit card. Well, I got two debit cards. So I go to like a BJ's, you want to give them cash, which that's going to be done away with. So it says you can only use credit. So I'll take out a debit card or credit card. Or debit card mostly. Revelation 17, 16, and 18. I believe I read that. Okay, Revelation, and we're gonna end on this. Revelation 18, 8, 10, 16, 18, 19, and 20. Revelation 18, verse 8, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord that judges her. (10, 16, and 18). Standing afar off for the fear of a torment. These I show you that this earth is not going to be blown into smithereens, saying, alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgments come. (16, 18, and 19). And saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed with fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and apparel, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmen, the merchant marines ships, the cargo ships, and all the company in ships, which represent China too, and sailors, and as many as trade by the sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? Jump down to the 20th verse. 19 and 20 actually. And they cast dust upon their head. That's an ancient custom. When you mourn something, you put dust on your head. That don't mean that everybody going to put dust on their head. They're going to mourn. Weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city wherein we were made rich. What was the number one country that became super rich? China. All that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou. So we're looking forward. That's why I asked Apostle Apostle Gabar to put a video up, putting a curse on Babylon. And I'll put a curse on it right now. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rukakwadash. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Shalak Rayam Wa Ashem Wa Abadyam Wa Harag Yam Wa Mashapat Yam Aitha La Babal, the water. And ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High have avenged you on her. Last precept, Revelation 22 and 19. Let's see what that says, then we're going to close. I went a little long. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, like for example, if you say the MOTB it's something other than what the men of GMS say it is, then you're going to be blotted out of the book of life. The Most High shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book, and which represents the whole book. The book of Revelation is connected to the rest of the book. So are you going to burn in hell? No, because there's no such thing as hell. And if there was, IUIC would be first. They'll march right into hell. And that's adding to the scriptures too. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.